Hello, and welcome to this year's Harvest Green Corn Carrier Training. My name is Allie Johansson, and I will be working with Katie Draper to oversee the inbound green corn this harvest season. Please, if you have any questions at all, call the Waterman site and ask for Allie or Katie. There will be a slide at the end of this training that will have our contact information if you do not already have it. And just a reminder, there will be a quiz at the end of this training, so please take that into consideration as we move forward. In today's training, we will be going over the Waterman site's current staff as it has had some changes since last season. We'll also be covering safety and plant procedures, some housekeeping items, quality management, a kiosk review, a brief overview of the trucker policy and green corn contract you all should have received by now, and lastly, the items you will need to pick up and return at the end of the season. So the current Waterman staff is now, our site lead is John Calise. Our production leads are Brian Jacobs and Tiffany Van Middlesworth. Our production managers are Seth Cady, Lexi Myers, Jillian Monier, and Megan Arwood. Our production associates are Shauna Marshall, Andrew Brewer, and Nathan Drozd. Safety technicians are Laura Hansen and Matt Spearley. Our site nurse is Sherry Urich. For any payment questions, you can get a hold of Sharon Berg or Katie Draper. And then for scale and dispatch this year will be Katie Draper and myself, Allie Johansson. Alrighty, per usual, our safety policies and requirements. For our truck inspections, DOT stickers and PPE. So your DOT inspection papers are not required. Plant personnel will be looking over trucks and trailers on site, and they will be checking DOT stickers to make sure that they are up to date. The PPE required on site has not changed since previous years. We will have a hard hat, gasket, goggles, safety glasses, gloves, high-vis vest, and a surgical face mask. Now currently we are on a week-to-week basis as the CDC is updated, and as long as DeKalb County remains in the orange or high, we will have face masks required on site. Also, we have long pants, shirts with sleeves, so no cutoffs, and then closed-toed shoes. And make sure, please, that we do not wear shorts. Now, for those of you who are new carriers, we just wanted to give you some information and reminders for our seasoned carriers. Please follow all dispatching instructions. We do not want anyone jumping ahead of other trucks. Wait for your turn, whether that's here at the site or at the field. And we do not need to be Ricky Bobby because the faster you get here isn't going to get you anywhere but waiting. So we have a schedule and a lineup for a reason, so please stick to it. You will wait if you're early or out of line, so just keep that in mind. So as of this year, this summer, we have had some construction on site. So per our usual driving cautions, we have a site speed limit of 10 miles an hour. We want to make sure that we are obeying our stop signs and gates between our break room and the tower coming and going. And then pull off the scale slowly and watch for people walking out of the office or traffic coming around the corner. And be cautious of foot traffic on site as well. So currently, this section right here in red, there will be a new structure coming off the side of West Bulk, which will no longer allow us to have people parked along here waiting to get off the scale, which you will see in further slides. And then this is the section where we're referring to of watching as you're coming and going and making sure we're watching for traffic coming around here because we are parking our employees here. And not 100% sure as construction concludes if we will have our parking back here, but just wanted to make everyone clear of that. So obviously you will not see a lot of this construction equipment sitting. This is currently what our site looks like, but as you can see in the red, this is the new addition on the Waterman site for our soy operations. So we will no longer have parking along the edge of the parking lot before the break room for dump 2, so along in here. And then dump 2 will have one extra stage truck which is past the break room next to dump 2, and then dump 1 and 3 will have their normal 2 extra stage trucks down in front of those dumps. So here I just wanted to give you another view of the site and how it'll look from a different angle standpoint. So obviously here's our scale. So this is where we use the stage trucks to come in for dump 2, and then going out, as trucks come out, they used to line up next to the west bulk. So because of this installation for our new soy process, we cannot have trucks staged in the red for dump 2, so that way we can allow trucks to get up in and out of the scale with enough room. Again, here's just another view of the project that we have going on. So like I said earlier, so this is that portion. This is our old parking lot. If we're going to have people parking here, still remains unknown at the current moment. But like I said, we will not be staging trucks here for dump 2. Alrighty, for some more general info, if you encounter any situation that you think is not safe, immediately contact the site for guidance on how to handle situations of this nature. The Waterman plant serves as your first point of contact regarding operational and administrative issues, including payment questions. Drivers must stay with their trucks and avoid congregating while waiting to unload. Drivers will not be allowed access to the break room or other parts of the facility due to COVID-19 precautions. Restrooms will be available via porta-pot trailers, one at the front of the site and one between the dryer and silage building. So for this harvest season, our COVID-19 procedures have changed a little. Our general rules are that you review the COVID entry questions daily. If you have any doubts, please do not come on site. And questions around any COVID symptoms or anything COVID related may be directed to our site nurse, Sherry Urich. Surgical masks are to be worn when inside the facility and required when outside when working within 6 feet of others for more than 15 minutes. Now, our COVID community levels will be updated Friday mornings after being checked by the site lead and nurse. This will indicate whether we will be wearing masks for the next week or not, checking the CDC guidelines. For the process for our drivers, so on your first load of the day, stop before pulling onto the scale and enter the front door of the office and grab a surgical mask. If you don't have one, return to your truck and scale in, and then remain in your truck until you back into the dump. And since you'll be working the same area as employees, you will wear the mask while unloading. So, plant procedures. While staging on site, so no food or drink is allowed outside of your truck cab. Any maintenance performed on your vehicle in our parking lot must be done in a BEAR approved method. This includes proper PPE and lockout tagout. If you have any questions around that, please get a hold of us, and our site maintenance and safety can help you with those. Smoking is allowed in designated areas only. The parking lot is not a designated smoking area. If you have questions as to where those are located, please find someone who works at the site. Dump station, please remain in the immediate area of your vehicle during the unloading process. Lawn chairs are not allowed in the truck staging areas. They end up in blind spots and someone will get hurt. It is the driver's responsibility to set the parking brake before and put on a surgical mask before exiting the vehicle. Chalk the rear wheels both directions before unloading. Stay with your vehicle. Operate the walking floor or belt. BEAR employees will kernel clean the trailer using a BEAR approved method of access. For trailer tarping and belt trailers, all trailers that are tarped by the vehicle operator must be tarped from the ground. No access to any trailer platforms will be allowed. Only BEAR employees equipped with proper fall protection devices are allowed to ascend trailers to resolve tarping issues. This will be done at the Cobb loadout or by boom lift. No climbing on top or sides of trailers. This also includes in the field. Prefer trailers with belts that are 42 inches wide or more. However, if you have a 36-inch belt, you will just not be used for overnight loads, so preloads. Per usual, you will receive a GPS truck tracker This is for increased efficiency. You will call the site for Katie or myself if you are broken down or delayed for any reason. You will install in the port under your steering wheel, which is best, or in the cigarette lighter. There will be one unit for each truck that is hauling, so please make sure you return these devices at the end of the season. Tarps for cleanout. Bear will not be providing tarps for the purpose of cleaning out trailers at the dumps. Carriers with walking floors will be required to provide one for each trailer. Next, we will move on to some QMS, quality trucking, to document the necessary steps to assure quality standards are met for the harvest season. All right, so each truck will be given a yellow laminated sign, yellow or orange, sign to set in their windshield to identify that you are a Bear seed truck. A foolproof way to make sure you are only loading at Bear fields, and that your trucks do not, if your truck does not have a card in their window, you will not get loaded. So please make sure if you do not have one, that when you come to the site, you get your yellow card. Alrighty, for some action items for you guys. We want to make sure that we follow our load and unload times dispatched on our scale tickets. Do not leave a field without your load ticket. If you do not get one, call and let Katie or myself know before you pull onto the scale. You are responsible for coming into the office to get a field ticket before you pull on the scale. When loaded, return to the plant right away or call with the reason you cannot. You need to inform the dump operator if you are the first or the last load of the field. Continuing with some of our action items, we want to make sure that we back into the dump, do not open our doors yet, give load ticket and scale ticket to the person on the dump. When they say it is okay, you may open your doors and start unloading. Bear employees are not allowed or qualified to operate your equipment. When the trailer is unloaded, wait until plant personnel completes the kernel clean. Please exit your truck while the employee is in the trailer to avoid any potential accidents. And now we will have a quick kiosk user training. Every driver will be issued a driver ID badge. So as you pull onto the scale, you will scan your badge here. A scale ticket will be printed here. This is a screen that you will have, you'll see your information populate. This RFID reader is to read the RFID chip that is in your load ticket that you brought from the field. If you have any issues, this is the phone to get a hold of us inside. All right, so what you see here is what will be displayed on the kiosk screen. So you are going to see your driver ID, your driver name, the company which you haul for, and your load number. The green check marks are that it is a verified driver ID, so you are the correct driver, you have a valid card, this is a valid load number, and then the field information. So we want to make sure that this all lines up. And then this lane assignment you will want to pay attention to for the ticket that it gives you, as this is the dump that you will go to. So obviously we don't have a dump 4, this is assigned for Waco, but this number will either be 1, 2, or 3. So when you are inbound, you will start by swiping your driver badge on the card reader, and you'll recognize that from the previous picture. So you will get a card that looks like this, and it'll have your number on it, your name, and you want to make sure you keep track of this because you will need this on a daily basis. When the scale senses that the truck has stopped moving, it will capture the load weight of the truck. Please have your load ticket clearly visible to the RFID reader. So this is your load ticket, and it has an RFID chip inside of it. This needs to be able to read it. A lot of truckers will put this load ticket in their windshield so then it can read it, but you will not want to put other ones in it. So every time you come back with a load ticket, make sure you remove the other ones and you only have one in there. Otherwise the RFID reader will try to read multiple at once and it may not work. So if your ticket is read correctly, you will see 2 green check marks, and it will display your badge right here in the middle, your field, and then your lane assignment information that we talked about earlier. So you will click print icon, which will be displayed once all of your information is all the correct information is collected. So you will print ticket, and then it'll come out this little printer box. So make sure you grab your offload ticket out of the printer box as well. Double check the ticket to make sure the information is correct. You want to check your field, your weight, and your truck. If it looks incorrect, please call in to Katie or myself. And then you want to give both the field ticket and the scale ticket to the person at the dump. So on your way out, we are going to be swiping our driver badge to complete the outbound transaction. And then you will select your print ticket, which will include your load weights and the next field assignment. Some of the key points for the kiosk that we just want to reiterate is that we do not pull onto the scale until it reads 0 and you have waited 20 seconds. Do not pull onto the scale without a field ticket. Make sure that you come into the office to get a ticket before pulling on the scale. If it does not read the field ticket, hold the field ticket in front of the reader box. It may take a few times. And if you have further issues, get a hold of us. And then always look over your scale tickets to verify the field, the weight, dump, that all your information is similar. So for our green corn inbound truck hauling contracts, so many of you who are running your own trucking businesses have received contracts and or addendums. Those are to be signed using an online program called DocuSign, so same as previous years before. You should have received an email from DocuSign with a link. If you have not received it, please contact Katie immediately or myself. Follow the instructions to complete your signature, and then the contract will automatically go to each person who needs to sign it. And then a copy of the fully executed contract will be sent to you and the site once it is complete. So just some miscellaneous points that we need to touch on are to please make sure you let Katie or myself know if your trucks or drivers are changing. So for weekends, if it's broken down, anything like that. If you switch a truck out with one of your spares, make sure you move the GPS tracker to the new truck. And then please be as proactive as possible when making changes. Our plan is to take Sundays off. It will be dependent on the weather. But we do need and will need to take one day off every week. So as we wrap up the training, there are a few things that we will need from you and that you will need from us. So make sure that at the end of this, every driver completes the training quiz and has their driver policy signed. You have a signed carrier contract via the DocuSign. Every driver needs a copy of their CDL and medical card, and then we need a certificate of insurance, and then all cell numbers for all drivers. You will need a driver's badge for each employee. So if you have old ones, so if you didn't haul for us last year, but you did in previous years, those will not work. So you need to turn those in and make sure you let us know so we can get you new ones. PPE, so your hard hat, gloves, high-vis vest, safety glasses, gaskets, or goggles, and then a face mask. We will have those for you, so if you do not have any of them, please let us know. We will have those on site. Field maps, window signs, and then your GPS truckers. There are new parts this year, so if you have one from last year, you will need to make sure that you bring those into the office. And as promised previously, here are our site contacts. So for green corn, you have Katie Draper and myself, Katie's cell phone number, my cell phone number, and then our bare emails. We can also be reached at the main Waterman site number. And then for backup, Melanie will be doing yellow corn this year. So if Katie or I are out for some reason, Melanie will be the backup for that. You can reach her at the office number, and here's her email. For payments for a short period of time will be Sharon. You can reach her at the office number. After Sharon retires here in the next few weeks, we will be having Katie answer any payment questions. So please, if you have any questions, just feel free to call the site and we will get you all squared away. So I just want to take a moment to say thank you guys for listening in on this training. Please complete the quiz at the end of this training. It is required for you to have all this done to haul for us. And please make sure if you have any questions, any at all, email Katie or myself, give the site a call, and we will get you guys all squared away. So thank you, and let's look forward to a great 2022 harvest season. Drive safe.